Hello Libra, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We are looking at all three sides of the connection. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section is looking at what is the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. As I do in all of my readings, I have pulled the overall energy and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second, but I still have a different tarot deck I will be pulling from for each side of this connection, as well as the advice deck I'll be using to close out the reading in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So please do remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. On that note, this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, take what helps, leave what doesn't. All right, Libra, let's jump on in. On your side of this connection, you have stand your ground with the Justice in reverse. I feel as if there has been some injustice in this connection. You know, the Justice in reverse can be an imbalance of karma in a way, you know, just kind of an imbalance in a situation. And I feel as if the universe Spirit is asking you to really stand your ground so that so that the wrongs can be righted, I think is a lot of what this is about. Because I do feel as if, I don't know exactly like what led to the Justice in reverse, but I feel as if the universe is trying to guide you in a, like, I don't want to say different direction necessarily, but trying to guide you in a direction that's more in alignment with what it is that you deserve. Now, this person has second option with the Queen of Swords. So you're showing up in their energy, and I feel as if this is an energy of them very much treating you as an option. And, you know, that is never okay. You deserve to be prioritized in your connections. You deserve to be valued and treated in association with that value. And I feel as if there is an energy of you absolutely not receiving that. And when that is the case, it can make you really feel bad about yourself, right? It can make you feel as if there's something wrong with you, or as if you're not lovable, or you're not good enough, as you're not as good as other people, or whatever the case might be. When in reality, you know, a lot of times, whether or not we realize it in the moment, rejection can really be divine protection and redirection. Now, I'm not saying there is straight up rejection here, but I do feel that this person was undervaluing you quite a bit. And I feel as if, you know, sometimes when people don't show up in the way that we deserve, you know, the universe is actually trying to push us toward better, not prove to us that we can't have what we want, but push us toward better. Because the overall theme of this reading is protection. However, I feel like it's a little bit more complicated than that, because in between this connection, you have destined soul ties with the Six of Swords in reverse. So this destined soul ties energy is very much it has a couple of things in it. And I feel like one of them is that, first and foremost, this connection was destined. Like, it was meant to happen for some reason. Most likely, there's a deep lesson associated in a way that you're needing to heal or grow or learn in order for you to ultimately get to what it is that you deserve. But soul ties, you know, can really complicate things, because it can attach us to somebody regardless of how they treat us, and make us feel as if we need that person to love us or treat us well, or whatever the case is, or else we're never going to be loved or treated well in the way that we truly desire. Because the Six of Swords in reverse is this energy of feeling very stuck on this or in this. So you're either in this connection and you're not getting what you deserve, but you are having a hard time getting out, or this is like a past connection and you didn't get what you deserved in it, but you're having a hard time really moving forward from it, like even if you want to. And I feel as if that has a lot to do with the soul tie aspect, because soul ties, sure, they can be good, but they become not so good when, you know, we stay super attached to somebody who continues not to treat us all that well. So let's see, Libra, what you've got here. This is for Libra's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is Libra's side of the connection. Ooh, okay. Page of Wands in reverse and the Five of Cups. There's a lot of disappointment here. Maybe even grief, sadness in terms of how this connection has happened, or like how things have unfolded here. Now, this Page of Wands in reverse is an indication that there has been some inner child energy that's been a little bit triggered, some inner child wounding. An energy maybe of feeling as if you're never chosen, or you're never prioritized, or almost as if this connection was a reflection of these experiences that you've been so used to in your life, just feeling as if, you're never good enough to be treated the way that you deserve. And those things aren't true, but when we experience something over and over again, we're going to start to believe it. We're going to believe it as fact. Or, when we get treated less than what we deserve time and time again, we're going to start to believe that that's what we deserve. And I'm not saying that you've gotten to that point yet, but I do feel as if, this connection is a pretty deep reflection of some just deeper wounds associated with your healing. And I feel like that's why it is, there's this destined aspect to it, is because I feel as if this connection is trying to bring a lot to the surface for you. Libra's side of the connection. I feel as if, okay. Man, we're getting deep quick here. Okay, there's the Page of Wands again, and then the Two of Swords in reverse. So, when we're in a connection with someone, or we meet somebody, and the way that they treat us reminds us of our past. Whether it's like we've been betrayed before, and this person, betrays us, or we've been not chosen or not prioritized before, or we're used to that kind of energy and love, and this person kind of makes you feel that similar way. We get a little bit blinded by our wounding, because we say, this is the reminder of this wound that I've had in the past, and I'm going to continue to invest in this connection out of hopes that things end up different this time. So what I'm getting at is, I feel as if the way that you were perceiving this connection has made it really hard for you to make good decisions for yourself, because you really are wanting it to work for more reasons than one. I think that, sure, you probably love and care about this person, but on the other hand, I feel as if there's this energy of like this connection reflecting back limiting beliefs that you have in love. I'm not good enough. I'm never going to be chosen. Nobody's ever going to love me the way that I deserve to be loved. And it's almost like the reminder of past experiences that you've had in love, which is why I feel like it's had such a profound impact on you, is because I do feel as if there's a lot going on below the surface, which is why I feel like it's pulling through a lot of healing. But what else? It's for Libra's side of this connection. The Moon. Could be dealing with a fire sign. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but you definitely don't have to be. It's Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay. There's a lot of anger showing up in this message, and I feel like it's justified anger. Okay, so I'm not going to say you're not justified in the way that you're feeling, but a lot of that anger is a result of your fear, because it feels as if you're very angry that things haven't worked out for you in love. And there's this energy of feeling as if this connection is like proof that you can't have what it is that you're deserving of in love. And so that anger, again, justified, in terms of this person kind of treating you like an option and things like that. But the root of it is fear. And the universe is trying to come through with a comforting message in this, to say that you don't need this person to choose you in order for you to be loved in the way that you ultimately desire. It doesn't have to be this person in order for you to have what it is that you're wanting and deserving. Now, I'm not saying it can't be. I'm not saying it's not going to be. But the universe does want you to have a little bit more space, maybe mental capacity, space in your heart, to make better decisions for yourself, to stand up for yourself a little bit more, to stand your ground and make sure that you are, not allowing yourself to be treated like an option, or, not allow yourself to be treated poorly. And I feel like there's been, like I said in the past, in this past message with the Two of Swords in reverse, there's this little bit of being blinded by the wounds that this is triggering in you, which is making it hard for you to make the best decision for yourself, which is so natural and so normal and nothing to be ashamed of. But that's why I feel like this connection runs so deep. Like the Destined Soul Tie card really brought that to the surface, in the sense that, there's more going on in this connection than just like how this person is treating you and how it's hurting you. It's like there are deeper wounds being triggered. There are, things coming to the surface that maybe you're needing to experience and needing to feel in order to heal, because we have to feel it to heal it, and a lot of times we don't realize that our attachment to others is a direct reflection of this belief that if they don't love us, that we're not going to be loved. And the universe is trying to tell you that you absolutely can have the love that you deserve and desire, but you have to make sure that you're in spaces that are capable of providing it for you. So we got deep quick. This got deep quick. All right, let's see what this person's dealing with. This person's energy toward Libra. What does Libra need to know about this person's energy toward them? Interesting. Lovers in reverse, Four of Wands in reverse, and then the Page of Swords. Okay. I feel like the way that this person treats you makes you feel very unlovable, right? Makes you feel not good enough. Makes you feel not deserving of love, or whatever the case might be. But it's so interesting, because that's how they feel. With the Lovers in reverse, they feel undeserving and unvaluable and not lovable. And I feel like that's a big reason as to why, first of all, it's a source of a lot of their actions in this, their approach to this. Because I feel like, because the Four of Wands in reverse is being a little bit, I don't know if unpredictable is the right word, but unstable. Not saying they are unstable, but just you never really know what you're going to get, because maybe there's one day where they're like, oh, I care about you so much, but then there's another day where they're totally cold, right? Hot, cold kind of energy. And it's almost like there's this energy of their feelings of not being good enough and not being lovable start to come to the surface in this connection, and it's just easier for them to just avoid it altogether. So when that happens, they distance themselves. They get cold. They get distant. They prioritize other things because they don't want to face these uncomfortable emotions. And so they're like, well, I can't. Libra can't see that I'm unlovable if I won't let them love me. Or Libra, they can't hurt me if I don't let them in, kind of thing. And, to you, you're over here well, why won't you choose me? Why won't you prioritize this? I don't get it. And at the end of the day, they're not even letting you choose them. They're not choosing themselves here. And so a lot of this is why, I do these readings for a reason. And a part of that reason is that, first of all, I think that we can have conversations with other people all day long. You can sit there and try to explain your feelings and try to, ask for your needs to be met and try to open up as much as you can to somebody else. But if that person doesn't have the emotional intelligence or the capacity to meet you where you're asking to be met, it's going to be like talking to a brick wall. Like, you're not going to get through to them. They're not going to understand what you're trying to say, and a lot of times it can leave us really confused because we can take that very personally, and we can start to, look at their actions and their behavior as a direct reflection of our value. And it never is. It's a direct reflection of their capacity to love. And the worst thing that we can do for ourselves is take somebody else's capacity to love personally. Because somebody else's capacity to love is a direct reflection of how much they are able to love themselves. It's a direct reflection of how in tune with them that they are. Now, people tend to prioritize what is easy. People tend to choose, if they haven't done the healing and the growth, they tend to choose what is easy, what is predictable. And that very much seems to be what this person is doing here. This person's energy toward Libra, which has nothing to do with you at all. Nothing to do with your value, nothing to do with you not being good enough. This person's energy toward Libra. What does Libra need to know about this person's energy toward them? Two of Swords in reverse. So that's why they won't make a decision here, because it feels like this person just straight up won't commit, especially with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It's like, it's interesting because I'm reading all these reverse cards as like a lack of the energy. So it's like the lack of the Lovers, the lack of a decision, the lack of commitment. And I feel like, you're lacking more in this connection than you're receiving. And that's going to take a toll on anybody. It makes plenty of sense. But again, this is where it kind of goes back to like, rejection is divine protection. If someone won't commit to you, or if someone is kind of like keeping you hanging on, or like playing mind games with you, or stringing you along for whatever reason, that is literally the universe saying, this isn't what you deserve. You deserve more than this. And I feel like that's what's trying to come through in this reading too. Now, the hard thing is I feel like there is quite a bit of a mirror here, especially with seeing this Two of Swords in reverse, here in the middle for both of you, is I feel like, sure, maybe opening themselves up to being loved in the way that you have, you're wanting to love this person, this connection would be what's best for them, but they're not choosing that. Maybe walking away and choosing yourself would be what's best for you, but you're not choosing that, right? Both of the people in this energy have an energy of feeling unlovable and not good enough for love, and the way that that's manifesting is in two different ways. You're looking for it in someone who doesn't provide it for you, and they're, not choosing it even when it's right there. So I feel like the biggest thing, and that's why I feel like you have to stand your ground, is like, you can't control what they do. You can't control what decisions they make. You can't control anything about them. What you can control is how you respond, and that's where you take your power back, and that's ultimately where you create the relationships that you do truly deserve. This person's energy toward Libra. So it just feels like they won't commit. And I think that is, like, even if you're married to this person, like, they're still making you feel like an option, or they're still making you feel like you're not fully being chosen. And I think that's where you have to understand that the people who are meant for you will make you feel prioritized and loved and valued and chosen. You shouldn't have to ask to be chosen. If you're asking to be chosen time and time again, you're investing in somebody that isn't able to treat you like you deserve. And that's why you have the divine protection. Because a lot of times we have this idea of what things could be if that person XYZ, and so we kind of idealize what the possibilities would be. Oh, if they chose me, or if they prioritize me, things could be so good. But we might be, that might be a little bit of a false narrative that we've planted. The universe might say, actually, this doesn't have the ability to be what it is you're ultimately looking for, which is why it's almost like this is protection, because it's trying to guide you toward what is, towards something better. And I feel like that's a lot of what's coming through in this reading. This person's energy toward Libra. What does Libra need to know about this person's energy toward them? I mean, I knew this message was going to come out. This right here is literally emotional unavailability. It's like this person is completely closed off to being able to let anybody get close to them, to let anybody in, to open up to love. And so you keep trying and seemingly failing and starting to blame yourself. Why won't this person let me in? Why won't they let me love them? Why won't they love me back? And it's like, well, because they don't know how. They don't have that capacity. And You know, if you're constantly taking other people's actions personally, it's gonna affect you in the long term. And that's why we have to learn not to do that, because other people's actions very often have absolutely nothing to do with us and everything to do with them. I would say almost like all the time. And anytime that there is rejection or we're not being chosen, it's not a reflection of what's possible for us. It's not the universe saying, you know, you will never be chosen, you will never have what you want and deserve and love. It's the universe saying, this person isn't what it is that you are truly deserving of. But they're a reflection of what you're so used to in love, not being chosen, not being valued or prioritized or whatever the case is, which makes you think that that's as good as it can get because that's what you've experienced. They're a reflection of what you're used to in love, right? We kind of started out with that Page of Wands. So, like I said, this got deep. It got deep quick. So, let's see here. This is for Libra's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Libra's side of the connection. Five of Pentacles. That you're afraid of losing this person. And you feel a deep loss with them not choosing you. And I feel like that's, you know, and that's understandable. You're allowed to feel however it is you need to feel, Libra. But I also encourage you not to look at that, at the way that you feel, as a reflection of like some sort of truth. Like, this person not choosing you isn't a reflection of like the truth that you'll never be chosen and you'll never be loved. But we often have a tendency to take it that way, which makes it so much harder. You know, I think that sometimes we don't realize how these deeper wounds are being triggered and how other people's actions are bringing those to the surface, which is why, you know, that's literally what triggers are. Triggers are a reminder of a past trauma. It's a reminder of a past negative experience that is being brought to the surface, and that's what's happening in this connection. It's like this energy of not being chosen. It's almost like you're so used to that, not being chosen in some way, or always being undervalued. But I feel like it's ultimately not being chosen. And I think that sometimes we look for people to choose us who remind us of people in our past that didn't choose us. And it's almost like we're repeating the cycle without even realizing that we're doing it. So, and I'm not saying it's your fault. You know, you have this destined soul tie. You were very drawn to this person because they probably reminded you of the love that you've never been able to have because they've never chosen you. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot going on here. A lot of deeper, just deeper stuff. And it's not easy to verbalize, so I'm hoping I'm making sense. All right, Libra's side of this connection. Now, here's where I'm going to get a little bit honest with you, Libra. Let me pull a card first. Yeah, okay. I knew it. All right, Ace of Swords, Four of Cups in reverse. This is a need to shift perspective. There's a need to cut through what's going on to the truth. So this is where I am gonna talk more about this message, but I'm gonna say what I kind of was channeling while I was shuffling. Our relationships with other people are a direct reflection of our relationship with ourselves. And when we're used to other people not choosing us, it's because on some level, Libra, you are not choosing you. You are choosing either other people over you or other people's needs over you, or you're not valuing you in some way. And this is the universe's message to you to choose yourself. If you're waiting on somebody else to choose you and they continue not to choose you, it's time to choose yourself. This Ace of Swords is this energy of clarity, needing clarity, needing to see through the pain and the fear and the emotions of it all, because it's really hard to think clearly when you're hurting, and healing comes with a lot of lacking clarity, which is part of the reason why it's not fun. But the more that you can try to cut through to the truth of what's really going on here, why this was brought into your life and the purpose behind the connection, instead of spending your time dwelling on all of the reasons why this person didn't choose you, you're going to get yourself a lot further. Because there are so many reasons that this person isn't choosing you that has quite literally nothing to do with you. Their emotional unavailability, their feelings of being unlovable, their inability to make decisions, they don't know how to commit, their fear of commitment, all that stuff, okay? That has absolutely nothing to do with you. And there is nothing you can do to make this person treat you better if they are dealing with all of that. So if you can take that out of it and you can say, okay, this doesn't have to do with me, but there's something in this that I am being called to learn at this moment, then you can start to redirect yourself to what is trying to come through so that you can heal and you can move forward and you can move toward and closer to the love that aligns with what you deserve, instead of the love that consistently aligns with what you don't deserve, which is what I feel like you continue to experience. This isn't about what you could have done different to make this person choose you. This is about what you could have done different to make sure that you are choosing you. Libra's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. Libra's side of the connection. Mindset shift. Devil, Hierophant in reverse. Okay. Let's say something. A relationship or connection without emotional safety is not a relationship or a connection, it's an attachment. And there is not emotional safety in here. You don't feel like you can trust this person. You don't feel like they're going to be there for you. You don't feel like you can be honest and vulnerable and open with them. At least from what I can gather. Maybe in some ways you think, but in some ways you can't. There is a very deep attachment that is coming through in this connection. And attachments stem from so many different places, but mainly from the lack of love that we received in childhood. There's a book that I highly recommend. It's called Insecure in Love. It's by Leslie Becker or something like that. Insecure in Love. And I'm not saying you're insecure, okay? But it talks a lot about, oh my gosh, I brought this up in Libra Love reading last week. But now it's coming through in the connection reading. But it's about attachment styles. And this book kind of, it starts to help you understand why people act the way they do in their adult relationships because of their relationships with their caregivers or their parents when they're younger. And this is exactly how I started out this reading. This person is a reflection of the love that you're used to receiving, some inner child wound that started in childhood. It almost feels like this person is a direct reflection of that. So that's why there's been this attachment that's created. Attachment, soul tie, kind of, in my opinion, could go hand in hand. And attachment is when you're coming from this place of saying, I need you to love me in order for me to be lovable. I need you to choose me in order for me to feel good enough. Instead of saying, I love me and I choose me, you love you and you choose you, which allows us to love and choose each other. That's where genuine connection and genuine intimacy comes from. Attachment comes from this place of saying, I need you to do something or be something for me. And I feel like I encourage you, seriously, this might not be one you want to hear. You're like, I'm just looking for a fun little tarot reading. You didn't come to the right channel. If you are interested in healing and understanding yourself and your relationships more, this connection is literally helping you do that. And one of the things I recommend is doing some research on the difference between attachment and love. Or I would say connection rooted in attachment and connection rooted in genuine intimacy. Because that can help you a ton in understanding that this connection is an attachment. It's rooted in attachment. And that attachment is making it really, really hard for you to make the best decision for yourself because you're so attached to feeling like you need this person or you need them to choose you in order for you to be lovable or good enough. And we've all been there, okay? Attachments are probably our biggest teachers in this life. It's just really hard for us to see them when we're experiencing them, because there is so much pain associated with them, because it's triggering not just current pain, but old wounding. And a lot of old wounding is being brought to the surface in this connection. All right, this person's energy for Libra. Man, this reading is getting deep. This person's energy for Libra, toward Libra. There you are again, Queen of Swords. Oh, interesting. Directly through this message, the universe is saying this isn't about them. This is about you. Because it's literally you and how they're helping you heal here. This is saying this connection was put into your life to help you heal. Now, that is, the majority of my readings that are popular on this channel are love readings. And the ones that are always the most popular are the energies where I'm reading into the other person, because everyone's curious. Everyone wants to know what that person is doing. What are they up to? What are they thinking? Those reading, I think that they're helpful, because like I said, I think it's important to try to understand, where someone else is coming from, because you can't always talk to them. You can't always have an understanding from that way. But at the same time, it's always important to draw it back to what is within your control. Because, and the best thing I ever learned was that we can't control other people. We can't control how other people treat us. We can't control if other people choose us. We can't do anything. It's not about us being more or being more lovable or proving our value. It's about us making sure that we are treating ourselves the way that we're looking to be treated. And whenever we look at things from that perspective, we stop putting so much weight in what the other person is thinking, what the other person is doing, and if they're going to choose you, and what they're dealing with. Because getting so caught up in somebody else's journey is a complete abandonment of your own. And your journey should be your top priority. It is literally the reason that you're here. And that's kind of where attachment and genuine connection also, there's the difference between, because when you have an attachment to someone else, you claim their journey as your own. You say, this is about, you need to make decisions that align with me, because if you don't, I can't be happy. I can't be loved. I can't have what it is that I desire in this life. And that is never true. You two are on individual journeys, here to learn different things. And if that comes together in a healthy way, fantastic. But if it doesn't, that doesn't mean that you're doomed and that you're never going to have the love that you deserve and desire. But this connection reflects back to you these woundings that makes you believe that that is true. So this connection is pushing you to heal in ways that you never would have if this connection didn't come together, which probably means it's been freaking painful. But the more that you feed into this idea that this is about like them choosing you and them loving you, the more you're missing the point, because this is about you choosing you and you loving yourself. That is the ultimate truth that's coming through in this reading. Because I feel like I'm speaking to a collective that's really tired of the pain here. And if you want that to end, because it can end and you can heal, you've got to redirect your focus. This isn't about them. This is about you. Let's get more of this person's energy toward Libra. And I feel like it's almost like I feel a little bit blocked from like this person's energy, because it's almost like Spirit is saying it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they're thinking. It doesn't matter what they're feeling. What matters is how they treat you. What matters is their actions. What matters is how they make you feel. And if they're making you feel like this, the Five of Cups, if they're making you feel bad and sad and neglected and not chosen, that's your sign. That's your message. That's the universe coming through and saying, this person, you're being protected from them because they can't treat you the way that you're looking to be treated. This person's energy toward Libra. They're kind of stuck in their own little karmic cycle here from their past. And that's why I feel like they kind of have a tendency to prioritize things that maybe aren't really what's good for them because they're kind of stuck in their own thing. This is like furthering this message that like you feel this sense of loss, right? You feel the loss of what this connection could be if this person changed, healed, grew, okay? The potential that you see in this connection still exists for you. You can still have it. Even if this person doesn't heal, doesn't change, doesn't grow, doesn't choose you, you can still have what it is that you deserve and desire and love. Now, I will say one of the ways that we often further attachments, and I see this all the time in the spiritual community, is by labeling them as a twin flame or a soulmate or your person, because that is your way of saying, I am claiming this person's journey as my own. This person is my happiness is completely dependent on what they do. And that is not true. But if you make it true, it will leave you stuck in a cycle of being disappointed and hurt over and over and over again. And the universe is saying you don't deserve that. We're trying to protect you from that, which is why you haven't been chosen in this connection. Because if you were chosen, maybe things would be worse. Maybe you'd get hurt even more. You never know. You never know why the universe puts you into situations that it does. It's kind of that energy of like, you know, you get frustrated because you can't find your keys in the morning, and then you find your keys, but you're running like 10 minutes late to work. Well, maybe you would have gotten a car wreck if you would have left on time. You know, you never know how the universe is protecting you, and you're frustrated because you're late and you couldn't find your keys. But when you shift your perspective, when you're looking at it as, I'm so frustrated, this person won't choose me, they won't treat me well, but shift your perspective. Maybe that could be a really good thing. You don't know how, you don't need to know how, but how could this maybe be happening for you? And maybe that can help you in some way, shape, or form heal a little bit, because, you know, you have gone through it in this connection, that's for sure. This person's energy toward Libra. You gave them what they wanted, they sabotaged. You gave them what they wanted, you reciprocated. You gave them what they wanted, they self-sabotaged. This has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with you, Libra. And that's why the further and further, this message is, this is about you and your healing and your journey to receiving the love that you deserve and desire. This isn't about them or them being that for you. I'm not saying that can't happen. What I'm saying is you have no control over that, and attaching yourself to that outcome is keeping you stuck in this energy of being hurt and not being able to experience the happiness and joy and love that is here for you. It's kind of like this energy of saying they won't choose you, their loss. Libra, it's a privilege to love you. It's a privilege to experience their energy. Their loss. Don't give them the power to decide what your value is. Don't say because they're not choosing me, that means that I'm not valuable and I'm not good enough. That's not fair to you. It's also not true. You determine your value. Nobody else does. Them not choosing you is their loss. And yeah, it's a cliche thing that your friends say when you're going through a breakup, but it's also true. And I know it doesn't necessarily help you like make it suck any less, but it can certainly help with the healing process when you understand that that doesn't mean that you are not valuable and that you can't be loved, because there are people out there who are meant to love you in the way that you deserve that will not treat you like this, not even kind of. All right, we're going to hop on over to the extended. You have destined soul ties with the Six of Swords in reverse. I'm going to pull 9 different messages, and I have an advice card to pull at the very end, looking at what is the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Got a little worked up there at the end. In case you can't tell, I'm very passionate about these readings and about helping people in this way, because I get it and I've been there. I spent a long time trying to prove my worth to people that weren't really interested in seeing it. And when I stopped doing that and I stopped deciding that I was valuable, I was going to be valuable for the right people, that's when I started attracting the right people. And I really want to share that in these readings, because I want you to know that you do deserve to be loved in the way that you truly desire. It's just that you're so used to not having it that to a certain extent, Libra, you're looking for it in people that remind you of that not having it. So, all right, Libra, thank you so much as always for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Libra, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Libra.